we are, St George's Day, London Patriots rally in London, Whitehall, outside Downing Street. Gonna have some speeches in a minute, hopefully should start at 2:30. Hopefully we'll be able to get going soon. Pretty good turnout so far. Let me know if you can hear me alright in the chat. Does it look and sound good? That'd be helpful. Let me know, guys. And welcome along. Hopefully everything will get going in a minute. We were informed by the police a little while ago that there's a order in place for drinking alcohol in public. So they've put a stop to that straight away. We've already had Just Stop Oil go through earlier. Don't know if you saw that. We'll get things moving in a minute. We're not marching anywhere, it's just some speeches, etc. Getting quite a few people in the house now, so all good. Police walking around telling people about the drinking in public. I'm not drinking because I'll be going to the toilet every 5 minutes. They're just on it now. They're just like, from their statement early this morning, the Met Police about the protests and that were going on in London today, yeah? There was no restriction on alcohol drinking here. Well, there was no mention of this event going on. Then about half an hour ago, 40 minutes ago, they was informed about a section whatever it is about drinking alcohol in public. So now they're going around enforcing that. It just seems like they move the goalposts every time. They're over there. They're over there as well. They're everywhere.
Peaceful, isn't it? Why don't so many? Because there's not many people at stations.
Yeah.
Why do I get have a choice?
I'll say hello, guys. Share it out. Hit that like button. We're going to see what goes on. We're going to be here till well after this is finished as well. Don't know how long this is going to go on for. This is the St George's Day Patriots rally. No, St George's Day was on Wednesday, I believe, this week. The government done some toilet thing up in Trafalgar Square last week, which, yeah. So this is the English Patriots showing their support. Don't forget to smash that like button, hit that like button and share this out with your friends. Get some speeches on soon, so stick around. Should be very soon actually. Jane, hey. Jane, thank you very much. I'm 100% behind you on that one. Will do, Jane. You too. quite quiet. Not many people here earlier, but looks like there's some more people turning up now, which is a good thing. So what's everyone up to? Where's everyone from? Let's have a roundup of where's everyone watching from? Hit that like button, please, guys. It'll bring more people to the stream. So, getting quite busy. Hopefully, we're getting some speeches started soon. Everyone wants to come down. We're right opposite Downing Street on Whitehall, right opposite 10 Downing Street. Someone's drinking. Right, here we go.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to run through a few things before we get this show started. Please, can everyone standing on the pavement make your way inside, please? Please, anyone standing on the pavement, make your way inside, make our life easier. Let's work with the police today. We don't want no issues, no trouble. Right, my next point, just quickly, there's a PSPO order in here which means no public drinking, I'm afraid. There's nothing I can do, it is the law and we must respect that, please. Right.
Let me know if you can hear him okay. Should be able to.
First of all, thank you for attending. Tough times like these create men of the moment and women. And you people are of this moment. There's no place I'd rather be than in the centre of London, celebrating our identity, our culture, and an historic event. Today you will find out how I inherited my surname, as the ghosts of my ancestors stand on my shoulder proud, saying to me, Dean, be strong. It's your love and support that gives me strength, honesty and integrity. Before we start this show, we must bless it as a true Englishman. Please stand with your shoulders back and stand proud. Turn it up, Will. Well, start it again, complete again. Right, ladies and gentlemen, should we get this show started?
Don't forget, hit that like button, guys. Appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, today I'd like to take you on a journey back through time to explore the story of one of the most enduring figures in Christian history, St. George.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, there's plenty of people here, and I just want to make one thing clear. This is not about me. This is not about Jimmy, Tony, or whoever. There's no political attachment today. This is about us as people celebrating St. George's Day. Ladies and gentlemen, the people on the stage today are us. There's no celebrities, they're working class, they're us. I'm going to show you and ask for your support. There's going to be some stories of people on this stage, and I want you to start backing and supporting our own people. Now, when I say our own people, I don't mean just white people. Don't be foolish. I mean everyone. So I'm going to introduce you to someone I know. He's a fellow bricklayer. But before I do, I want to tell you a little story quickly. Yesterday afternoon at 1 o'clock, my stage and screens pulled out. Why they pulled out, that's between me and them. I will sort that out. But I will not. My resilience is high. I will not be beaten. Now, whatever method of sabotage that was, look at the face. What they didn't know is I have a friend. I have a friend called Joe. Where is Joe?
Come on, Joe!
My friend Joe is a scaffolder.
Yes, Joe!
So late last night, I was on the phone to Joe. Joe, I need a favour. Scaffolders and bricklayers rarely get on. But we pulled it off. At the top of that, Joe was here this morning. We got permission this afternoon and we set the stage up.
Yes, Joe!
So the moral of the story behind that, be resilient, do not be beaten. Make the best of what you can. Now, I'm going to play you something about the history of St George. Because it seems to be very fashionable for those to attack us about the history of St George. So I want you to listen very carefully.
Ladies and gentlemen, today I'd like to take you on a journey back through time to explore the story of one of the most enduring figures in Christian history, St. George, a man whose name echoes in churches, legends and cultures across continents. While most of us know him as the dragon-slaying hero of medieval lore, St. George's true story runs deeper, woven through courage, faith, sacrifice, and the legacy of a Christian martyr. St. George was born in the late 3rd century, around the year 275 or 280 AD, in what is now modern-day Turkey, in a region then part of the Roman Empire. His father was a soldier in the Roman army and a Christian, and after both his parents died, George followed in his father's footsteps and joined the military. He quickly rose through the ranks, becoming a high-ranking officer under Emperor Diocletian. Now, at this point in history, Christianity was still a persecuted faith within the Roman Empire. Diocletian, though a capable ruler, was a staunch pagan and deeply hostile to Christians. In the early 4th century, he launched one of the most brutal waves of Christian persecution the empire had ever seen. This is where George's story truly begins, not as a warrior on the battlefield, but as a soldier of faith. When Diocletian issued an edict commanding the persecution of all Christians and the destruction of Christian scriptures and churches, George refused to comply. He boldly declared his Christian faith in front of the emperor and his court. Imagine the courage it took, a Roman soldier standing before the most powerful man in the empire, denouncing an unjust law and affirming his allegiance to Christ. George's defiance cost him dearly. He was imprisoned, tortured, and eventually executed, most likely beheaded, around the year 303 AD. His martyrdom left a lasting impression on the Christian community. He became a symbol of bravery, faith, and righteousness in the face of tyranny. But how did George the Martyr become the dragon slayer of legend? The tale of St. George and the dragon first appeared centuries after his death. In this symbolic story, George rescues a princess from a terrifying dragon that demands human sacrifices. He slays the beast and brings peace to the kingdom. This myth was not meant to be taken literally. Instead, the dragon came to represent evil, paganism, or even Satan himself, while George stood as a figure of Christian virtue and divine power triumphing over darkness. This legendary image caught fire during the Middle Ages. Crusaders, knights, and kings alike adopted St. George as a model of chivalry and Christian valor. He became the patron saint of knights, soldiers, and many countries, including England, Georgia, and Ethiopia. His red cross on a white background became a symbol of protection and identity for armies and nations alike. But beyond the myths and symbols, St. George's impact on Christianity is profound. He is revered not just for what he did, but for what he represents. George reminds us that faith is not passive, it demands action. Sometimes it requires courage to stand against the tide, to risk everything for what is right. His life and martyrdom echo the very heart of Christian witness, to bear suffering with grace and to proclaim truth with unwavering boldness. Throughout the centuries, churches have been dedicated in his name across the globe. Icons and paintings depict his struggle against evil. Pilgrims still travel to places associated with his legacy, and every year, on April 23rd, St. George's Day, Christians and non-Christians alike commemorate his story. In closing, St. George is more than a historical figure or a legend of dragons and damsels. He is a symbol of enduring faith, an example of moral courage, and a reminder that true heroism often means standing firm in the face of injustice. In a world that still wrestles with fear, oppression, and doubt, his story continues to inspire. Thank you.
Lesson for us all. St. George was not English, but what he stood for was Christianity. And he bared the tragic lesson of standing for what he believed in. He stood for what he believed in. Now, for those people who tried to attack our history and mock us to say St. George wasn't English, let me tell you something. I was working with a bricklayer last week and he told me that St. George's dad was from Canning Town and he was a bricklayer. And his mum was from Yorkshire. So that's good enough for me to claim him. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll introduce you to our host, Mr. James Norton.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Dean Neal, aka the traditional bricklayer. Thank you very much, Dean, for putting this show on today. What a day this is going to be. I am honoured and privileged to have been invited to host this for you today. The first interview we're going to have today is going to be a young lady from Essex. She's called Latalia. Can we welcome Latalia to the stage? We're going to learn a little bit about her and she's going to be giving us a little bit of a surprise shortly after the interview. Latalia, thank you for joining us. Ladies and gentlemen, Latalia! Latalia, can you give us a bit about your background, where you're from, what sort of industry you work in, what you're trying to achieve in this country?
Well, my name's Natalia Jenkins, I'm 19 years old, I've been singing from the age of 5. I started singing because I've been inspired by many artists, English artists, such as Amy Winehouse, Adele. I've been to performing arts colleges in Barbican, Italia Conti, if anyone knows that one. And I now go to Adagio in Essex. I'm actually from Billericay in Essex, if anyone's from Essex. Yeah.
So, Latalia, are you ready to perform in front of this fantastic crowd? Yeah? Are the vocal cords warmed up? Are we ready to go? Right, give yourself a little introduction, let them know what you're singing, and the stage is yours.
So I'm going to be singing Valerie by Amy Winehouse, so if you know it, please sing along.
Ladies and gentlemen, Latalia! Who reckons we're going to be seeing Latalia on the big stage one day? Yes. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now we're going to introduce to the stage a man, an author, a patriotic British man who's based his series of books on this fantastic country. What other celebration other than St. George's Day would we have to introduce this man to tell us his story, to tell us the reasonings behind the book, which is only one of what's going to be 5 parts, but we're going to let the man himself tell you more about that. Please welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Shane Whiskin.
What's happening, London?
There we go, we've got one of you lot here. So, who is Shane Whiskin today?
Today, I'm just a patriot that's here to tell you my story, a little bit about my book, but more about my personal story to why I actually read this book and the message I want to get across to the whole of the people that are here today.
Shane, can you tell us a bit about your background? Where are you from?
If you can't tell by the accent, I'm from East London, same place where Dino's from, Canny Town.
So Shane, moving on to this that you have in your hand, can you tell us where the inspiration came from for the book? An outline of the book without giving too much away, and then telling us a bit about what's coming next.
So the book is basically a story about Britannia set during the Viking Age, and it gives you the whole history of when the Romans come to invade, when the Vikings came to invade, and the moral of the story is unity and standing together and never giving up.
Shane, are there any elements of your personal life that have given you inspiration for the book?
So 10 years ago I was diagnosed with stage 3B blood cancer. I underwent 6 months of chemotherapy. A year later, the person I was engaged to at the time, she passed away. That led me down a very, very dark road. But again, the moral of the story is I'm here today because I never give up. And I'm here today. I've got 2 beautiful daughters and a fiance. 10 years later, when I thought that I lost everything, I've now gained it back. And I've tried to put that into the story just to let everybody know you don't stop fighting, you never give up, and you stand your ground.
Shane, could you share with these amazing people the full title of the book, where they can buy it, and how else they can show their support to you and your journey moving forward?
Right, so before anyone buys the book, I just need to let you know I'm not J.K. Rowling, and I am from Canning Town. So thank God for Microsoft Word with a spell check, because I'm a bit dyslexic, but the book is called The Kingdom of the Five Realms. You can buy it on Amazon. There's a limited edition version. It's a St. George limited edition version, and it's got a whole chapter about St. George. I've put it on Amazon today, half the price for £15. Now I'm not trying to nick your money, but buy the book, read it, and spread the word to never stop fighting.
Spread the word,
What's next for Shane Wilkins?
Whiskin.
Shane Whiskin, sorry. What's next for Shane Whiskin?
I don't know, I might try acrobatics or something next, I don't know. No, I've got 5 more books of this series to come out. I've also got a personal biography called It Gets Better, because at the end of the day, when you don't give up, things get better. So I want people to take my story on board. I don't want people to feel sorry for me, I want you to see the strength. I've never stood on stage in my life, and I'm standing here today to tell everyone, just don't give up and things do get better. Even regarding our country, everyone can see that our country is in a mess, but it's nice to see so many people here from the same background. It doesn't matter whether you're white, black. If you love this country and you love this soil, you are British, and you stand together and we never give up.
Ladies and gentlemen, Shane Whiskin. Something a little bit different now, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome to the stage, Gary Porter, music.
1, 2. Can you hear me out there? Can you hear the back? Hold your hands up, I can't hear you. Now I can see you.
Cheers, Kim, Richard, and Steve.
This is a song of peace. Winter, then you make me crawl. I can't be holding on to what you've got. All you got is hurt. One love, one steal, one life. Wake those flags. Night. One love. Get your share in each and every one that we can bear it. It's getting up. I've got to take this off. I'm moving on.
Because his name should be Hugh.
I wrote a song last year. It's for you, it's for you, it's for you, it's for you. It's a song called Rise Up. Comes on an album at the end of September. My band's called Porter Brotherhood. If you Google it up, or go on the social media, it'd be lovely for you to drop some comments or a bit of footage or anything you got really. Porter Brotherhood. I can feel sweet inspiration mixing with the blood in my veins. But I feel just a little bit bitter how everything don't stay the same. Just when you think that you gotta be, and everything around your world begins to change. So I took just a little bit of money that I put back in the rainy day. And a man in a pinstripe suit with a stroke of his pen took it all away from me. I could tell by the look in his eyes, never ever felt the shame. So rise up, people in the world, it's time. And rise up, let your voice sing out with mine. Rise up, cause if things don't change, you know they're gonna stay just the same. Just consider that the world could be much better if you took away the greed and hate. Spare a thought for the little old lady in the rocking chair, from which her dreams were made, looking back over better days. Everything around the world's beginning to change. So rise up, all the people in the world, it's time. Rise up, let your heart sing out with mine. Rise up, things don't change, you know they're gonna stay just the same. Do you want to try something out now? Yeah? This is going to be your turn. two words you have to remember in this song. Rise and up. You can wave your flags, you can put your hands in the air. It's better if you join in though, eh? Okay, we're going to try it, see how it goes. One for the cameras. Here we go. Rise up, all the people in the world, it's time. And beautiful hearts sing out with mine. And cause if things don't change, you know they're gonna stay just the same. Oh, you're making me cry. Can we be brave? Try it one more time. All together, yeah? So rise up, all the people in the world, it's time. And rise up, let your heart sing out for mine. And rise up, cause if things don't change, you know they're gonna stay just the same. It's out in September, Porter Brotherhood. Go on the social. Choose to not see in the shadow. I refuse to be kept in the dark. Sun creates heat on the side of my cheek, takes me to places afar. I hold on that thought for 1 second. I created a scene in my head. All that I need is for you to believe it'll be there long after I'm dead. It's a daydream I created, so real and it's virtually mine. Share it with you in an instant, if you promise you share it with me in the time. Sand that's so hot like a desert, heat haze distorted my eyes. Sound of the sea brings it all back to me, the reason I feel so alive. Now hold on that thought for 1 second. I created the scene in my head. All that I need is for you to believe it'll be there long after we're all dead. It's
have to rewind.
dream I created, so real and it's virtually mine. Share it with you in an instant, if you promise you'd share it with me. It's a daydream I created, so real and it's virtually mine. Share it with you in an instant, if you promise. You share it with me in the time.
Sure he says his name again.
Okay, thanks very much for your time. I'm very proud to be here today. Thank you very much for coming. If you remember Porter Brotherhood, go on your socials.
Porter
I'll look at it when I
Brotherhood.
go home. We'd love to see a few of you with us on
Porter
our journey
Brotherhood.
for the album back in September. Now, many, many years ago, a young man came up to my site at work in a cloud of dust. And he wanted a job. And he said, Governor, he said, I want to learn. And those 3 words, I want to learn, give me enough incentive to take him on. That man you'll know is here now with us at the moment. Not only have I watched him grow from a young man, I've watched him grow into one of the most humblest, caring, generous person that I've met. It gives me great pleasure to introduce the traditional bricklayer, Mr. Dean Neal.
The battle of Britain is about to begin. Upon this battle depends the survival of Christian civilization. Upon it depends our own British life and the long continuity of our institutions and our empire. Let us therefore brace ourselves to our duty. So bear ourselves that if the British Empire and its Commonwealth last for 1,000 years, men will still say, this was their finest hour.